Here I come!
I've been working on this 4-star plus 10 merged EST for a decent amount of time now, and recently I got one more copy to make her a 4-star plus 9. Now this is important because this is the last merge needed for the full extra plus 4 attack that comes with a plus 10 merged unit, and I felt like it was finally time to give EST a proper fun build. So how do we reach a potential 70 attack on this EST? With a level 40 4-star plus 9 EST with a plus attack boon, we start with 40 base attack. Using one S copy to promote to 5 stars, we can merge down into the 4-star copy to get S her Slaying Spear plus, and we give it the attack refine upgrade. This makes it a 16 might weapon. For skills, I used a basic attack plus 3A skill and the attack plus 3 sacred seal. In total, this S without any buffs will have 62 attack, but for fun I can pair her up with someone who comes with a plus 6 attack buff, and this can come from FLIERS attack tactic or even Thea's dark aura tome. To get the last 2 attack, I can also give her an Earth Blessing and use Legendary Ike on the same team during an Earth season. All this combined mean S can have a visual buffed up attack of 70, which is just amazing to look at. Now this setup isn't meant to be an end-all super optimized highest attack possible game breaking build, but it's cheap, it's a fun way to use those extra copies of EST, and most importantly, it's a lot of fun. So why did I choose EST? A while ago I made a video talking about some great units you can try and use for a 4-star plus 10 merge project. A 4-star plus 10 unit is roughly equivalent to a 5-star plus 5 merge, but is insanely cheaper to make even if you have to promote 3-star units into 4 stars. I mentioned S in that video as a great candidate, and that was around the time I started merging my own extra copies together. The reasoning is still the same. First off, S has probably one of the worst base kits in the game. Besides the heavy spear, she comes with the shove assist skill, the defiant res A skill, and then the seal speed B skill. Shove is not exactly a commonly used skill, and both defiant and seal type skills have pretty much been power creeped by the brazen and smoke or chill type skills respectively. This pretty much meant if you got S, she wasn't even useful for skill inheritance fodder, and most people probably just sent her home. Despite her lackluster base set of skills, S doesn't have the worst set of stats. To use a neutral 5-star version of S as an example, she has a base 35 attack, which is great and ties for the highest attack for Lance Flyers. She has the 3rd highest res stat for the group at 32 and is only 2 behind Florina. Downsides are that S has some of the lowest HP and defense totals for the group and has the 2nd lowest speed stat for the class at 30 speed, which is honestly isn't even that slow. Flying Lance units are just pretty fast in general. Unfortunately, EST was fairly written off as a worse version of Cordelia, and it's hard to argue that Cordelia's 5 extra speed isn't more useful than the bunch of extra res EST has. Some main reasons are that Brave Weapons took the game by storm, and even till this day, the offensive power of 2 consecutive hits makes it a good weapon. This should have been okay for EST, but then Fire Sweep Lance was introduced, and Cordelia's beautiful 35 attack and 35 speed meant that she just outclassed EST if you wanted to go down that route. What's worse is that Hinata and Tana both could also fill the role of either a Brave Lance or Fire Sweep Lance user, and S has sort of just been forgotten. However, what est has over these other flyers is her availability, because she is available at 3 or 4 stars only. This makes it way easier to choose her for a 4-star merge project, plus you have a much higher chance of getting the nature you want. In this case, I want that sweet plus attack boon. For this project, the goal wasn't to make a high scoring arena monster, but rather I really just wanted another dedicated armor counter, and I didn't want to have to spend a huge amount of investment. The most expensive part of this build project was just the 20,000 feathers to promote one S to 5 stars, so that I could pass along the heavy spear plus, so the 4-star merge could get access to the sling spear. I could get more attack by using life or death or death blow, but the simple attack plus 3A skill is good enough, and well, I'm happy with how it performs. So after some testing in arena and arena assault matches, I find that this build is way more fun than what I expected. Basically, est will obliterate any non-green army units in one shot. Zelgius, the Black Knight, and even Zephiel are all a complete joke for this build, and you usually see at least one of those in any army team. I also found that while est won't be able to one-shot most green army units normally, she can do it if she has special available. She does immense damage to them, but usually comes up short for a one-shot, and usually est will get destroyed before she can attack again. One thing I wasn't really expecting was that with this much attack, S can actually one-shot some non-armor red units, which is insane and so satisfying to watch. This usually requires at least a +6 attack buff from either Honed Flyers or Dark Aura, but I think that's still just incredible. I've tested this build on a flyer team with Honed Flyers buffing Est, as well as 2 gold flyers on the team, and things just get disgusting. I felt a similar sense of satisfaction as when I had heavily invested in Frederick with the Brave Axe build. Everything just dies, it's so much fun. Another surprise is that I found S could hold her own against the powerful dragons in Arena, mainly because of her pretty decent resistance stat, and she has just enough speed to not get doubled in most cases. Overall, a build that may have started off as a bit of a joke actually isn't that bad. I'm incredibly happy with how it's turned out. Hopefully you guys understand that this build isn't meant to be super serious. I did it because my S is almost a +10 and, well, I wanted another unit I could call upon when I needed to deal with multiple armor units. I think the main issue with the armor effective type weapons, or even the cavalry ones too, is that other weapons just grant more reliability rather than putting all their eggs in the basket against one threat. I could do a similar build with a slaying lance and even get the same attack value, but I wanted something different and I wanted to see how effective stacking attack could be when you pair it with the extra damage multipliers. Est was a perfect match for this build, and it's always fun to use a unit who may not be as common. Overall, this build can be copied by pretty much anyone, and all it's doing is just stacking attack. I will say that while something like Deathblow would do more damage, it's so satisfying to see that my S starts off with 62 attack with no buffs. I understand why some people just go full glass cannon because, man, I don't have that many high attack units, but recently I've gotten that itch to see just how far I can boost that attack stat and still have a useful unit. So what do you guys think about this type of build? Do you have any built up armor cavalry counters that make use of the new upgradable effectiveness weapons? It's odd that they had to introduce the Rider's Bane, Zanbato, and even the Poaxe, but yet we've had the Armor Slayer Heavy Spear and the Hammer since day one. I know that players who swim with the whales in Arena tend to run the super merged armor teams, so I'd be interested to see if they run the armor slaying type weapons because they get more value out of it. Obviously, you don't need these niche weapons to deal with armor units, but being able to just delete one type of unit really pays off sometimes. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun with this build and I've gained a new appreciation for the youngest White Wing sister. I'll see you guys in the next video.